If you don't actually know, it's the DJI Mini 2's birthday today. 1 year ago today, DJI launched the Mini 2, and little could they have known at the time just how successful and popular this little guy was going to be. Quite frankly, for the money that you pay for it and what it actually delivers, there is absolutely nothing to touch it. And this is the drone that really catapulted my channel, really. So I do owe this guy quite a lot. And no better way to celebrate its birthday than to talk about the new DJI Flight Update 1.5.0 for Android, where I'm going to talk all about if any of the existing known issues are fixed for the DJI Mini 2, not to mention talk about one cool feature that is new for the DJI Air 2S. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the DJI Mini 2, quite frankly because it's the most popular drone on my channel, and then at the end, after I've done the Mini 2, I'm going to talk about what's new for the Air 2S. So let's get into it. So DJI have given us the Flight version 1.5.0, and this is all about support for the DJI Mavic 3, which got launched in the early hours of this morning, UK time. Now, there has been a few issues with the DJI Mini 2, which of course is DJI's most popular drone, and previous app versions very recently, most namely the 1.4.12. There was a few issues where as the front LED wasn't working, this basically wasn't responsive to what you was trying to select on the app. There was an issue where the video cache wasn't working, even though it was selected on the little bar, nothing was actually saving to your phone. Not to mention there was also a problem resetting the aircraft yaw rotation speed. The gimbal did actually reset absolutely fine, but the actual aircraft rotation was still a problem. So are any of these problems fixed then? Now, just to speed up this entire video, yes, I can confirm that the LED light is now working absolutely fine. Okay, you can see as I'm on screen now selecting the different colors. If I flip back to my camera screen, you can see on the drone it is correlating to what I have selected. So that's all really great news then, and I can confirm that hopefully that issue where the LED light isn't working is put to bed. Now, checking some of the other issues, it does appear that the aircraft rotation reset button still doesn't work, and that has to be said that issue is actually across the board, so it doesn't actually work for the DJI Air 2S. Of course, the DJI Mavic Mini doesn't have that feature, so of course there's nothing to reset there, so you're absolutely fine. And I believe it's the exact same for the Mavic Air as well, sorry, the Mavic Air 2 as well. However, the issue with the video cache is still there for me personally. Like I say, they're still not downloading to my device, but ultimately we've got a working LED. Apart from that, there seems to be very little else with the DJI Mini 2. Everything seems to be working absolutely fine. I did go out for a little bit of a test flight, and I did sort of fly this drone a bit, and everything looked absolutely okay. Everything on the features worked, the compass looked fine. The only little issue I did actually have while I was flying is even though I upgraded the DJI Flight app from within the app, as you can see, I got the pop-up notification on the 1.4.12.
Maximum flight distance reached.
For some reason, even though it shows me that I am logged in, it was restricting me to 50 meters in distance, which of course is a classic sign that the DJI Flight app isn't actually logged in. Of course, it shows that it is, but these issues still happen to me as well, not just you guys. So all I very quickly did is went into the menu, logged out, logged back in again, and then after I'd done all of that, I could continue on with flight, and I could get further than the 50 meters with the DJI Mini 2. That being said, everything seems to be working. Now, I do, of course, read your comments, and one of you guys did mention that you was having issues with the DJI Mini 2, and you had tried to do a circle quick shot, and for some reason it was losing you. So I thought I'd decide to go give this a go myself, just to check and just to see whether it was possibly a one-off for you. I do like to generally test quick shots and selection issues, etc. when I'm doing these flight tests, really. And as you can see, as the drone is circling around me, it's from quite afar, and it seems to have no problems whatsoever. So I can confirm As per the DJI Mini 2, there isn't any particularly new features for Android. However, one little thing I have to mention is I did notice when I was testing out the DJI Fly app for iOS, there was actually some new features where you can adjust the EV value using the function button, and there's just so much more options, whereas with Android we don't get so many. So that's to be noted. But yeah, LED light is working, cache video still exists, or the problem still exists, and of course the gimbal or aircraft yaw settings don't reset. So let's get on with the DJI Air 2S. With the DJI Air 2S then, everything is of course exactly the same except for one new feature. So there is a new feature that you can toggle on or off, and that shows a basic radar detection or obstacle avoidance radar on your screen. You can see if I fly forward towards myself, we have got that little red bar or sort of half moon semicircle if you wish, which shows that there is an obstacle ahead. That of course is me, and of course if I move the drone out the way and head towards the fence, you can also see that as I walk behind it and then move backwards and forwards, it changes between orange and red depending on how close the obstacle is. And of course, with it being the DJI Air 2S having these top obstacle avoidance sensors, you also get the upper avoidance sensor as well, which shows the distance above the drone as to where there's any obstacles. So yeah, ultimately, both drones seem to be working absolutely fine. Of course, as I said, the Mini 2 still does have those issues. Those issues I've just mentioned, of course, don't affect the DJI Air 2S, they don't affect the DJI Mavic Mini, and they don't affect the DJI Mini SE, not to mention they don't affect the DJI Mavic Air 2. So let me know what you think about those new features, and let me know what your thoughts are on the DJI Mini 2 and how it's performing, and of course that new obstacle radar on the Air 2S then. If you do fancy checking out some of my other videos, you can see, if you click this button here, you can see a video all about ND filters, and if you click this button here, you can see me doing an active track test with the DJI Air 2S. So that wraps up the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.